Hey everybody, James here again. I've been wanting to do a piece on the GOP in general, the Republican Party, not just the Trump administration, but some of these clowns in Congress, our House and Senate. I cannot believe some of these Republican congressmen and senators, how cruel they are by cutting, proposing to cut Medicare, Medicaid, the SNAP program, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, aka food stamps. The list goes on and on. They want to cut Social Security. They want to cut VA benefits. They want to cut, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is a great agency that funds, NPR and PBS. And, they're so sneaky about this whole thing. When this bill ever does go to a vote, they're going to probably do it at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning so their constituents won't see what they're voting for. I mean, half the time they're not even spending this bill as to what it really is to their constituents, because a lot of these Republican representatives represent very poor people in our country. Take Mississippi, take Kentucky, take Alabama, take North Carolina, the state I'm in. A lot of people depend on these programs for survival. Medicaid, there's a lot of people, they get hurt at work or they get hurt off the job, they can't work. They need this assistance to survive. Same thing with SNAP. They need the SNAP benefits to put food on the table. And what really makes me angry is the way they spin religion into this whole narrative. The GOP. They're such hypocrites. I think it's chapter 25, verse 40, where Jesus talks about whatever you do unto my, brethren, the least of my brethren, you do unto me. These GOP people, congressmen, senators, claim that they're super Christian and they love Jesus and they worship Jesus and whatever. This is not what Jesus taught. They're going to pass this bill sooner or later, and it's not going to have a lot of things in it that they want, but I'm still fearful there's going to be a lot of cuts that's going to affect people here in my community, people that rely on these services, heavily. And it's all to give more money to the rich, the billionaire class that's got more money than they could ever spend in 5 lifetimes or more, probably 10 lifetimes. They couldn't even spend the interest on it, because they have so much money. But their greed, just unbridled greed, is so rampant that they just keep wanting more at the expense of people, Americans, and people around the world.